Good morning. Good morning. We're going to do an opening song, and if you're able, willing to stand, then please do. This loving light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This loving light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This loving light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day. Ooh, when I'm on my job, I'm gonna let it shine. When I'm walking along, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, when I'm singing my song, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day. Oh, this loving light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This loving light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. This loving light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every way. Oh, yeah. When I'm walking along, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, when I'm singing my song, I'm gonna let it shine, yeah. When I'm at OCSL, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every way, oh yeah. This loving light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This loving light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this loving light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah. Every day, every way. Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, Omega Ray, Amy, Levine. Fabulous way to start the day. Good morning. I'm Rain Dugan, your announcer today. My pronouns are she and her, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome. We also want to thank our sound engineer today, who I understand is here for the first time, Jasper McSilver. Welcome. Thank you and welcome. Welcome again to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplift us, and celebrate our oneness with life. A very special welcome to anyone who is joining us for the first time today. If you are here for the first time and can raise your hand, we have a welcome packet for you. Not today. Yo, over here. Wonderful. Welcome. We have a little treat for you. You are with family. We are glad you are here. And also a big welcome to everyone who's joined us on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Where am I looking? Welcome. Make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter. so you can learn about the fun things happening at Oakland Center. We like to start by respectfully acknowledging that here in the Bay Area, we gather on the traditional land of the indigenous Ohlone people. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded these lands for generations. Now let's take a moment to bless our children, wherever they are. If you can read along with me. We bless all our children in our community and the world. We love you. We see you. We know the truth of who you are. You are unique expressions of God, and we are grateful to have you in our lives. And so it is. Some announcements. On Wednesday, this Wednesday, October 4th, practitioner Constance Chapman continues the discussion of the paradox mindset. Meditation is at 6:30 and service is at 7 on Zoom. Today is New Member Sunday. Woohoo! Please come and introduce yourself to our new members in the social hall after service. I think Craig and Amy and Reverend Jerry put together quite a spread. So thank you to the three of you, and please come join in the feast after service. This month's nonprofit partner is Muttville Senior Dog Rescue. Muttville's mission is to change the way the world thinks about and treats older dogs, and to create better lives for them through rescue, foster, adoption, and more. We have a short video about Muttville, and after that, we'll invite Angela up to come tell us more about the program. That was awesome. So great. Angela?
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Great. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I've seen that video a few times now, and I always end up with a giant smile, so I hope you do too. That is a big part of our mission, is to change the way people think about senior dogs, not as a sad situation or some little dogs to feel sorry for, but excited for their opportunity for their next phase of their life. That's where Muttville comes in. We were started 16 years ago in San Francisco. Our founder was a volunteer at the animal shelter and saw wonderful dogs just for no reason other than their age being euthanized. So she started taking them home one by one to her house, and she started the nonprofit in her home. In her first year, she rescued 27 dogs from euthanasia. Since then, just about a month ago, we rescued our 11,000th dog. So we are very excited. Thank you, thank you. We focus on dogs that are 7 and older. We get our dogs from all over the Bay Area down to Stockton and Fresno, Central Valley, as far north as Mendocino. We focus on all different size dogs. Doesn't have to be just small ones. We have a wonderful adoption program, and a foster program is very strong as well. We have a shelter in San Francisco, and we have about 20 dogs at any one time in our cage-free facility. So I work there. I have dogs underfoot all the time, which is a real perk. And about 60 of our dogs every week live with foster families. So we love our fosters. They make what we do possible. They learn about our dogs and help in the adoption journey. So even during COVID, we kept going. All of our dogs immediately went into all foster homes, and we closed our physical shelter, but we kept on doing what we were doing, which is adoptions. Every week, we take in about 25 new dogs, and we adopt out about 25 new dogs. So we're on target to rescue about 1,100 dogs this year. And we appreciate and are so grateful for your generosity and your support in choosing Muttville as your charity partner this year. We can't do what we do without the support of our community and members like you who, through your efforts, support what we do. We have a wonderful program called Seniors for Seniors, if anyone's interested. We have a free adoption program for folks who are older than 62. We provide you with a specialized match of meeting the right dog who's great for your energy or your life situation. And we also provide lots of supplies or anything to make the dog and you more comfortable. If you need dog beds or bowls or doggy stairs or gates, we have that for you. We're open to the public every week on Saturdays from 11 to 2 at our shelter, but we're also open for appointments. And if anyone here would like to come for a tour, I'd be happy to give you a personal tour. My cards and contact information are on the table in the courtyard. And a lot of times people say, how do you get your dogs? How do you find them? And we get about 200 requests a week to take in dogs from shelters, from people, from concerned people on social media, but we can take in and fix up and find homes for about 25 dogs a week. We have our own veterinary team, and so we do in-house surgeries, spay, neuter, dental surgeries, anything to get the dogs ready for adoption. And we send the dogs home with about a month's worth of food and medicine so that the new adopters feel comfortable that they can, take care of the dog's needs right away. I think I covered everything, but we have another wonderful program called Cuddle Club, which I wanted to highlight. That is for people who can't adopt a dog, but you still love dogs. We offer twice a month a session where you can come to Muttville and cuddle with our dogs. It is for people who can't adopt because their housing doesn't allow it or physically or financially they can't take care of it, but we love Cuddle Club. It's one of the programs I started working on when I was a volunteer at Muttville. I met my dream and am now an employee at Muttville, but I did Cuddle Clubs for about 10 years. So it's a really heartwarming program, and we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary of doing that. And that gives people the opportunity to get a little dog love and give our dogs some important socialization and love as well. So it's really a happy place. We are building a new facility and we're expanding, so we're very excited. The need is there, it never ends. Sometimes it's hard work, especially when senior dogs get older and they do get sick. So we do all we can to take care of them and fix them up. And then if they have something that we can't fix, we have a hospice program. So for our dogs that are a little bit more vulnerable and frail and sick, we have a program where we provide a stipend for medical care for the dog for the rest of their life. So we have very devoted hospice adopters, people that want to give that love to a senior dog at the end of their life. So it's a really happy thing as well, because sometimes those dogs, we think they have a few months left and they get into a loving home with the right vet care and food and attention, and 2 years later, they're still kicking around, and we get videos and updates and their medical bills, and we just keep paying it. So I want to just thank you again for thinking of us and inviting me here to speak to you. I definitely feel the love in this room, and I'm a little choked up by being able to talk to you about it. So I'm happy to talk about senior dogs. I have my own spicy 11-year-old Chihuahua that I can tell you about the joys and struggles of taking in a senior dog, but it's been the most worthwhile thing. So thank you so much, and I'm happy to talk about anything else. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Heartwarming is the right word. You used it. That was heartwarming. Thank you for the work that you do, and thank you to whoever nominated Muttville, because we all got to, thank you, Beth. It is time to nominate nonprofit partners for next year. So if you'd like to nominate a nonprofit, you can find the application on the website under About Us or pick up one at the check-in desk, and applications are due October 18th. The bookstore will be closed today and next Sunday, but you can be back October 15th to shop for goodies. This just in, new announcement. This is really exciting. We are going to rock the house here. We are going to experience a rocking of the house here on November 17th at 7 p.m. with a fabulous concert of musicians, many of whom we know: Kev Choice, Destiny Muhammad, Omega Ray, Luke Manfrank, Katie Lamont, and an awesome house band. This is an opportunity to hear more of the repertoire of these fabulous artists, to dance our booties off, to have fun and raise money. Tickets will be on sale. Yeah, let's clap for that. I heard someone. Tickets will be on sale in mid-October. You don't want to miss it. I know I don't want to miss it. Sell your wares and market your business for holiday gifts at OCSL Holiday Craft Fair on Sunday, December 3rd after service. To reserve a table, pick up a yellow application from the check-in table or go to the events page of the OCSL website to sign in. If you know anyone who might be a good fit for administrative coordinator and who has very large feet to fill the shoes of Constance Chapman, please contact Reverend Sunshine at revsunshine@oaklandcsl.org. For more information about what's happening, visit our website, oaklandcsl.org. You can also sign up for the Village News by checking the I'm New button on the website. And also remember to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special updates and content you'll only get by liking and subscribing to the Oakland Center. Now, if you are able and willing, if you would stand with me to read our vision and mission statement. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. And so it is. Have a great service.
Well, Mudville is a hard act to follow, I'm telling you. It's awesome, awesome. My name is Dorothy Mendez, and I am an emeritus practitioner here at the Oakland Center. And I am your pulpit assistant, and I'm just thanking God for this beautiful day. So I have 2 readings for you. So sit back, relax, and put your seatbelts on, because we're going to be taking off shortly. So here we are. Our first reading is by our founder, Ernest Holmes. The riddle of the universe is a paradox. The question is its own answer. For the mind that asked the question is also of the mind that answered it. Our second reading is by Parker Palmer. The deeper our faith, the more doubt we must endure. The deeper our hope, the more prone we are to despair. The deeper our love, the more pain its loss will bring. These are a few of the paradoxes we must hold as human beings. So let's just take a deep collective breath and go to that place where God abides, accepting and knowing that there is only one life, and that life is the life of God. And that life is whole, that life is perfect, that life is complete. And that life is your life and my life right here, right now. As we just move into this day that God has created, giving thanks for everything and everyone who has participated in this service to make this service what it is today. We bless our senior minister, Reverend Sunshine, as she speaks the word of truth, that God moves through her and she moves through us. I bless the musicians, the AVT, anyone, the greeters, anyone who made this service possible today. I know for each and every one of us that we are grounded in the love and the light of God. For there is no spot in our life that God is not. So I am knowing and blessing this service, knowing that it is already complete in the mind of God. And we just go to that space and say, thank you, Mother, Father, God, for this and for the more. As I, Dorothy, release this word into the law that always says yes, let us ground it together by saying, and so it is.
Praise
Amen.
God. Amen. Thank you, Darla. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy. That's beautiful. I met a prophet, dark as the night. She could see into my soul. Said she'd been watching and had some advice. She said shadows make you whole. A life without pain is a wolf in sheep's clothes. 'Cause if you listen to the lessons that it holds, you'll find the gold. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the shell. I can remember when I was a child, how the grown folks seem so crazy. Why are they so angry? Why are they so loud? And when I grow up, that's never ever gonna be me. That was the moment that I decided that I would build a world just shy of 6 feet tall, too strong to fall. Child, it's time to break the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be fun. You cannot touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until you break the shell. Courage is not being hard. It's time to peel back the layers you put between you and who you're meant to be and who you are. Go be who you are. So much disappointment to finally understand that there is no such thing as perfect. We're all simply doing the best that we can. And if we have a choice to live or truly be alive, this is your life. until you finally break the shell. Thank you.
Thank you to Omega Ray and Amy. I approve. You do good. Well, good morning to you and happy Sunday. I am the proud spiritual director and senior minister of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. I use she, her, and they pronouns, and I welcome you this Sunday fall morning. Yay! We're continuing to acknowledge National Hispanic Heritage Month, and I invited last week as I seek to continue to help us be a multicultural community. I wanted to have someone build a Day of the Dead altar, and I had someone to take me up on it, and I'd like another person. So if you're interested in doing that, and especially if you're from that heritage, please email me and let me know. Did anyone here attend this weekend the online One Heart member conference? Anybody here? Just one? I know Crystal did. She was out there. This was sponsored by Centers for Spiritual Living. And Deborah did? Well, good. Next time I want to see more hands. This is something that we can avail ourselves to. It was very affordable, and our own Crystal Fry led a workshop, so I want to acknowledge her and Robert Leeds for being on the member council, so let's give them a hand. You know, I was at an outdoor birthday party last night. It was a house party. It was so lovely. It was just beautiful for a dear, dear friend of mine. And someone came up to me and said something that really struck me that I want to share with you this morning. She came to me and she said, by the way, she had, it was my kind of party. It was good food and music, and there was dancing and there was ritual and ceremony, so it was just a beautiful, beautiful time. And we had blessings and creative offerings, and she offered something to the honoree that was very well spoken and well articulated. She came up to me later and she said, I want to say something to you, and I'm shy, and you have a big energy. And so I'm bringing basically I heard her saying, I'm bringing my courage to come say this to you. And she proceeded to applaud and appreciate me for all my good work. I didn't know her, that I knew of. I had never seen her before. But she apparently knows me. And she knows the New Thought community. And so she applauded me and appreciated me and went on and on and on, lavishing on me as an African American woman in this center as the senior minister. And she wanted to be sure that I knew that she saw me and she appreciated me. She's not a part of this center. She didn't have to do that. This is right where I live about authentic self-expression, where you bring your full self to it, find your courage, and go do the thing, and don't let shyness or some label stop you from doing what you need to do. And so what I want to say to you is not only that. I want to say to you, yes, I know I have a big energy. And you know what? I'm your senior minister. I don't want you to be intimidated. I don't want you to be shy. If you have something that you want to share with me, I want you to come talk to me. Find that courage to do that. That just struck me, and I wanted to say that because we're here together. You never know. You might be coming to bless me as opposed to getting something for yourself. So I just wanted to tell you all that. So this is our time of call and response. And I feel the energy feels slow in here, so we're going to stir the pot a little bit, if you don't mind, right? We're talking about paradox today, so that's why the reading was about paradox, and you'll hear a little bit more. Should you be willing, I have 3 statements that I'd invite you to say out loud, and not just to say it, but to declare it and to be it, if you're willing. Are you willing? Yeah. Okay, oh yeah, all right, there we go. Here it is, here's the first one. I open wider to Spirit's infinite possibilities. I open wider to Spirit's infinite possibilities. Hi, live streamers, listen, I'm expecting you to say this out loud too. The next one is, I allow myself to lean into Spirit with curiosity and wonderment. I allow myself to lean into Spirit with curiosity and wonderment. Life is a miracle and is magical. Life is a miracle and is magical. Yes, yes. Feel what we just put out there. And now let's take a community breath so that we can receive the word this morning by first exhaling right where you are. Just let it go. Take in a nice deep breath, and when you get to the top, just hold it. Let it out with a sigh. Twice more. Let's breathe in again. Let it out with a sigh. A bigger breath this time. Hold it, and a bigger sigh this time. And we simply bask in the divine presence of the infinite as the word comes through. The qualities that I'm working with today, I like to tell you what I think they are. You may find more, but this is all connected to spiritual principle. I teach up here. I teach spiritual principle, and I want us to work this together. This is not just a Sunday morning teaching. This means that you journal when you're here, that you leave out and you contemplate, that you take it in your meditation, because you will be changed, I promise. So the qualities are creativity, possibilities, openness, flexibility, surrender, and trust. That's what we're working with today. Yep. Creativity, possibilities, openness, flexibility, being nimble, surrender, and trust. Our annual theme, yeah, you can go woohoo. Yeah, for sure. Our theme this year is what? Oh, come on now. We've been working on it this is the 10th month. Our theme this year is what? Right, we're living out loud. And this month in October, we're talking about playing with paradox. I love this one. And today, I'm talking about the paradox mindset. Richard Rohr says, wisdom is clearly more than intelligence. Wisdom is clearly more than mere intelligence, knowledge of facts or information. Wisdom is more synthesis than analysis, more paradoxical than linear, more a dance than a march. So let's break it down. You know, I like to break things down so we know what we're working with. When we talk about paradox, paradox is really basic. It's something that seems to be contradicting itself. Simply, that's what that is. And I give you examples of this all the time, but the one that I'm thinking of right now is in everything there is simplicity. In things there is simplicity, there is complexity. And where there's complexity, there is simplicity. And some may say, Rev, what you talking about? Either it's simple or it's not. You know, either it's complex or it's not. Well, maybe not so much. Let me give you an example. So if I said the sky is blue, that sounds simple, doesn't it? Sounds simple. It's not always blue, but a lot of times it is. But it's not that simple, because when you look up the scientific reason why the sky is blue, this is what it said. It said the short answer is, which means it's a much longer answer, okay? Gases and particles in Earth's atmosphere scatter sunlight in all directions. Blue light is scattered more than other colors because it travels as shorter, smaller waves. So you can tell that that's complex, right? We know that it's complex. So why am I saying that? Simplicity and complexity. Because the reality of it is, no matter how complicated something seems, it will let you get wound up in knots if you let yourself get wound up in knots. But if you just let it be what it is, even if you can't figure it out, it becomes really simple. And if you treat your life that way, then it helps. It helps, and it goes the other way around. Paradox can invite the space in between for possibility to exist and for it to manifest. When something doesn't quite make sense, it's like, what? What does that mean? It is beyond confine. You know, confine is like this. So when you look at paradox and possibility, you're going outside the lines. You're going outside of the box. Have you heard of that? That's why people say that. Think outside of the box. What is the norm? Oh, well, who creates the norm, right? Who's to say that the paradoxical is not the norm? But we classify it that way, so that we can break it down, so that we can control it. But I'm talking from spiritual principle for us to relinquish control. Because if we believe that God is all there is, then there's an element that is certainly bigger than us that we may not understand right now. We may not have the faculties to understand right now. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So we entertain the possibilities of. And this is where I always talk about leaning in. It's like when you lean in, it's like, tell me more. That curiosity and wonderment that we talked about in our affirmation today. Tell me more. Now you've grabbed my attention. So then the other side of the equation, the mindset of paradox, the paradox of mindset. Anyway, they're about the same. When we look at the mindset part, right? It's the way we hold something. It's the way we view it. And the dictionary, which I just love because it gives you a frame of reference, but then you can bend the rules a little bit sometimes. The dictionary says mindset is a fixed attitude or disposition or a mood, like an intention or an inclination. Right? So when you have a paradox mindset, you're talking about what's outside of the box and how you hold that. Oh, now it's getting juicy. And that's what happens when you put these together, the paradox mindset or the mindset of paradox. I like those two together. And how we hold the perceived space of contradiction, the space of possibility. And I like to say, well, challenge it. What if you say, well, what if that is true? Because sometimes your mind doesn't want to believe that it's true because you can't fathom it. But just because you can't fathom it doesn't mean that that's the case. So what if you lean in and say, what if it is true? Huh? Or what if it's not true? Like you held on to this thing, it has to be this way. What if there's another way to think about it? Huh? That's where the flexibility comes in, right? And we can apply this into our lives. We can ask ourselves, how can I allow my thinking to be changed and look at this a different way? Last week I was talking about knots, something being knotted up, and how we just allow love to let it pull it apart, you know? Paradox is like that too, because things can be so challenging that we're up at arms. Let it go. Look at it at a different angle. This is the lean-in principle I talk about. And I was thinking about the practitioner track, you know, when you're gonna study to become a practitioner. I think it's in advanced consciousness studies, where there's an exercise, I think it's still in there, of getting to look at how things got to be the way they are. They allow you to create a timeline. How things got to be the way they are in my life. By creating this timeline and these milestones, you get to look at the hidden beliefs that are in the underneath that may be holding you back from advancing forward. And through this reflective exercise, Megan and Maureen will tell you, they just came out of prac studies, it allows you to say, oh, I didn't know that was under there. Then you know what you're praying and treating and meditating about to help undo that limited thinking. That's where this paradox thing can help you. Cultivate for instance, if you're trying to cultivate a consciousness of abundance, it behooves you to look at any hidden beliefs that have to do with lack and limitation, right? Because if you're not familiar with that, believe me, it's going to neutralize anything that you're doing trying to get into the consciousness of abundance. So you have to know what's in the underneath in order to be able to advance yourself forward, to get in touch with that. And this is where idioms come in. These short phrases, you know, sometimes they make no sense either. It's like, and these are the things that are buried underneath. Like, for instance, you got to work hard for your money. You heard that? We may have been taught that. And so, you know, if we're not working hard and churning, then we think we're not doing it right. And then we're wondering why we're so tired and that we're not happy in our jobs. When you can unpack that and look underneath, then you say, oh, I don't really believe that, or that's not meshing with my science of mind philosophy. Then you get to change it. Here's another one. No pain, no gain. You figure if you're not hurting, you're not gaining anything. I don't think it actually has to be like that. Like pain, right? And parables are like that too, where, you know, the parable just tells a story in a different way so that you can see it differently perhaps. Riddles are like that too. So paradox, parables, and riddles kind of all fit in the same category to cause you to look in the in-between and think of possibilities. So I ask, like, what parables are you living as paradoxes? And what lessons in learning is it showing you? Let me give you an example of a parable. Y'all know parables. I'm sure you've heard many of them. There's a whole bunch of them in the Bible, right? So I picked one out. This one is in the book of Luke that says, this is Luke 17 chapter 33rd verse in the King James Version. It says, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. And whoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. Now somebody could look at that and say, what in the world are they talking about? I'm going to lose my life so I can save it? What sense does that make? But when you break it down, especially into our metaphysical principles, in order to gain a space of enrichment, you may need to lose the life that you've been living in order for you to gain a richer life. And you may need to do the reverse. It's almost like, have you heard when you love something, you have to let it go? And then you wonder, well, why? I don't want to let it go. I don't trust them. They may, if I let it go too far, they may do something that I don't want them to do. Well, it requires trust, though, doesn't it? In order to gain more love, you don't want to be smothering. I remember being in a relationship that was just, it was like, I have to let this go. Because it was saying to me that they did not trust me because they were like all on me. It's like, let me, just give me some space. You know what I mean? So it's like this, you know, we give the analogy. How are you going to get more abundance when you're clenching your fist like this? You can't get anything in there. But when you let go, when you open up, then you are able to say, I'm open and willing. Why do you think it's suggested that you sit in a meditative posture sometimes with your hands up on your lap, with your palms extended? It's so that you can have this open posture. Show me, Spirit, I'm willing. Because if you're huddled up like this, you better believe you're not going to get anybody coming to talk to you, including Spirit. Why are they going to come talk to somebody who's all closed off, frowned up, mean and mad? We don't want to do that. Here's another one that really feels paradoxical to me. I talked to y'all about this one too. I grappled with this. That's why I'm telling you, because I'm working on it, okay? And this one is also in the Bible, in Matthew, and it is the love your enemy story. Love those who use you and did I write it down? Despitefully use you. I'm not even getting it out right, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about? And then when you think about it, it's like, what? I am not going to love that person. In fact, I really dislike them, and you might even use that H word. I hate them, right? How are you going to apply love to that? However, beloveds, if you use your spiritual principles and work the principle and lean in with curiosity and wonderment, it will show you, Spirit will show you how to do that. It will show you how to love. You just have to keep applying the love. It will lessen. I promise you, it will lessen. It will lessen. But, you know, it gets complicated. Talk about complicated and complexity. When we're talking about war and you're abusing me or whatever, you know, you have to unpack it a little bit at a time sometimes. So I have an example. You know, I tell it myself all the time because I have permission to do that. Just last week, it was just the other day, I was pulling out of my driveway and I heard a crunch, and I was like, what was that? And so when I looked, I didn't get out, but it looked like it was a fast food cup. You know, the container, those kind of, that's not corrugated. What would you call that? You know, the cardboard kind of thing. So it just sounded like it crunched, right? So I went on about my way. And I came back and you know, the crunch thing was still there because I'm on the run a lot of times, so I did not get out and look at what the thing was. Well, I came back probably after the second time, and as I was coming in, I saw the crunched thing there, and I pulled over and I went to pick it up. It was a bucket, not a thick plastic bucket, but it was a good-sized bucket that crunched up. I crunched it flat. But you know what was in it? Rusted nails and bolts, small nails, long. Some of them were this long. Some of them were this, screws, bolts. It was a lot of metal. A lot that was still in the crunched up thing, and it was all over the street, right where my driveway is. So I went in and I got a broom and a dustpan and proceeded to sweep this up. It took me almost 30 minutes. Shows you how much it was. Now, this is just in my driveway. My neighbor's driveway is right next door. We share a driveway, but it has a delineation in it. But it was in my driveway. I keep getting stuck. In my driveway. So I'm sweeping and fussing and just, why would somebody do something like that? And look at this and another thing. I was mad. And the more I swept, the madder I got. Because these little nails and screws were all in the cracks and crevices. It's not flat. It was just, the more I swept, the more I'd find. And I was just sweeping and stuff. You know what? I remembered my PPG. I've told you what that means. What is it? Somebody tell me. PPG. Practicing the presence of God. That's my new spiritual principle. So while I'm sweeping, I'm remembering the PPG, and it's like, okay, thank you, Spirit. I'm so glad that my tires didn't get punctured. And what else? It's not that bad. I'm glad I have a broom and I have a dustpan to sweep this up. And, so I'm calming my energy. And it was working. Until my neighbor yells my name out of an upstairs window and says, "Oh, thank you for sweeping that up. I saw that and I forgot about it." It wasn't in her driveway. It was in mine, right? So as I'm still sweeping, I'm thinking, well, the nerve of her. How did she see that and she forgot it was my 4 tires that could have been punctured and I'm carrying on. It's like, wait a minute. The PPG, what were you just, come on, bring it back down. So I did. Why am I saying this to you? Because we have opportunities all the time to check ourselves, to make sure that what we're practicing what we're preaching, that we're walking the talk. And somehow this fit in with paradox. It fit in with this notion of keeping myself front and center. What's in the in-between? If I wouldn't have leaned in with that spiritual practice, I would have been mad, stayed mad, and it just would have been a mess for me and everybody else. But instead, what happened? I was able to loosen up on it. I'm sure you have some examples of things you could loosen up on too in order for us to move forward. It kind of reminds me of this thing that I had to name it. If I was going to say it to you, what is this thing called? I'm going to call it the disappearing act. And that is, I've told you that over the course of the last couple of years, I have noticed that I can't stay mad. I wanted to be mad about the nails and everything. I wanted to stay mad, and I couldn't. It disappeared. There's been times that same week I wanted to stay on my pity pot. I was just really, talking myself into woe is me. And I wanted to stay there, but I couldn't. Why? Because of spiritual principle. If you work your principle, it will work you. How many of you know that? Anybody? Look at that. Y'all have your own stories. So why stay in the negative energy? It made me look at, why would I be mad because I can't stay mad? There's a lesson in there somewhere. There's a hidden belief in there that makes me want to grab hold to negative energy and anger and upset. We got to let that go. We got to let it go. The non-paradoxical mindset, non-paradoxical, is linear. It's control. It's even about systems that are oppressive, right? That we are buying into over and over and over. But if we let ourselves entertain paradox, we can think differently about it and say, oh, we can get the epiphany. Have you ever had that? Where you're working on something and I just don't understand it, but Spirit, I'm going to keep praying about it anyway. I'm just going to pray and know that it is revealed. And if you keep at that, all of a sudden, you'll see the light go on. At least that's the way it works for me. And when we can do that, then this is the both and. It's like, I don't have to agree with you, Rain. You can have your own opinion. And you too, Larry, all y'all can have your own opinion. I don't have to wrong you for me to be right. It's not the either or, it's the both and. When we do that, we make it a world that works for everybody because we can be in the same room. There is room for both of us in the same room, even if we don't agree. That's what you call diversity of thought and opinion. And that's important for us these days. When we can do that, we find diversity and inclusion. There's room for both of us. It's the both and in the oneness. None of us were made the same. We believe that, right? The multiplicity in oneness. That's what that's about. So it's about holding space for something that's different. Thomas More says, care of the soul means not taking sides when there is a conflict at a deep level. It may be necessary to stretch the heart wide enough to embrace contradiction and paradox. That's what we're talking about. It's the answer without the question. That's what Ernest Holmes was saying. I wrote an article on this years and years and years ago. Listen, the answer exists. Always has, always will. But until we ask the question, we won't know the answer. It will just be there. Until we ask it, then it can inform us. Interesting. Interesting how that works. Life is not linear. This is what I'm going to, as I bring this to a close. Life is non-linear and is backed by the miracle, this is my words, by the miracle working power of God that cannot always be explained. You just may have to trust that that's how it works. And I don't know, but I know that it's so. It is paradoxical and requires the paradox mindset to open up to its magic. That's how miracles work. You know, we think miracles are periodic. Miracles happen every moment. In fact, miracles are the ordinary activity of God. We think that there's something extraordinary. But if you think about it, God is always producing miracles. Always. 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 John Donahue says, it is the paradox of spiritual growth that through bleak winter journeys, we eventually come through a hidden door into a bright field of springtime that we could never have discovered otherwise, because we let ourselves lean into the possibilities and into the paradox. So let us take this into prayer, as we always do. And Dodie Cheney Fernandez is going to bring up the prayer box. I invite any practitioners that would like to surround the congregation. That includes you at home, to please stand. And those of you in the audience, please stand in your heart. And if you don't want to stand, it's okay. You don't have to. Go within into your heart space, into that place where I believe the candle is always lit. It can never be snuffed, because it is that private inner sanctuary where spirit resides within us. And it's not only within us, it's all around us. Because God simply is. It is everywhere present. It is here. It is there. It is everywhere. On all dimensions, planes, because it is the plane. It is the dimension. It is the creativity and the life that is being fulfilled each and every moment. That is fluid, that grows and expands, and that embraces perfection and wholeness in every way. I know that it's within each of us, and as we open ourselves to this miracle of life and this truth that I am proclaiming on our behalf and that the practitioners are holding in consciousness, we know it is alive and that it is manifesting in our lives right now. Through each and every prayer request in the prayer box that Dodie holds, I know that the need is met perfectly because God knows all, and I know that all is well, regardless of what the prayer request is, regardless of how large or small. I bless our nonprofit partner of the month that we just heard about today, Muttville, blessing them for taking care of senior dogs and making sure that they are loved and cared for and protected, blessing them for all of their years of service and for many more. Blessing our world from the top to the bottom, from the inside out, all across this globe, this beautiful planet Earth. I bless it in every direction with everything that we need for sustainment and fulfillment, for healing, for upliftment, for resolution of any hatred, anger, chaos, anything that may be disruptive to the realization of God's grace. I bless it now, knowing that there is that wholeness, there is the hand of God that is being laid upon any and everywhere where it is needed, regardless of calamity, regardless of what the situation may be. God works instantaneously, and therefore it is now. I name it and claim it and know it is so. Giving thanks for those whom we are praying on the Ministry of Prayer list, blessing each and every loved one, knowing that they are held in the bosom of God right now. I know this for Beth Van Arco, Doug Myers and Joe, Dave Bartholomew, Shirley Williams, Margot Tabbitt, and anyone else that we are praying on behalf of that asks not to be mentioned. I know in the mind of God, they already know who it is and what they need. And so it is already done right here and right now. And now is the time that I invite all of us to participate in this prayer as we co-create it, where I fling open the doors of this prayer wide in the arms of love and invite you to claim your name and speak your name and the name of anyone else that you want to pray on behalf of today. To say it now. In this vortex of love, in this vortex of prayer. Live streamers, you say it too. I can hear voices that you may not be able to hear. So we continue to allow those to be spoken, knowing that it is done and done well in divine and perfect timing with divine harmony and divine wholeness, divine order, divine everything wrapped around it to make it so and to bring it to full realization and completeness, which is the glory of God. In gratitude and in knowingness, with supreme appreciation, I lift this word into the divine ethers, knowing that it is already activated. It is already being acted upon to demonstrate it tangibly so that each and every one of us can feel the divine presence of God in the ways that we need it most, whether it's money or health or housing or wholeness or legal services or love, relationship, job, whatever it is. All is well. Praise God for that. And so I let this word go and I just rested in this fertile space of completion. And I invite you to bring this prayer to closure as I've been doing. I want you to close it by saying whatever it is that feels right to you. And so it is. Amen. Praise God. Yes, it is. Ashe, aho. Thank you, Lord. It is done. Thank you, practitioners. I appreciate your consciousness. Thank you, Dodie.
And thank you, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman, for that beautiful message today. That is truly the givingness of spirit. The music is the givingness of spirit. Everything we do here at Oakland Center is the givingness of spirit. I'm Reverend Jerry Carter. I'm the staff minister here, and proud to be here to celebrate with you our opportunity to give. Now we have, yes, woohoo! Remember, giving is important for us to maintain this beautiful, beautiful experience we have here at Oakland Center. But more importantly, giving helps us shift our consciousness and open our hearts to greater good. That's what giving is all about. So as we join together today in our givingness, we have lots of opportunities to give. You have envelopes in the back of the seats. You have giving envelope where you can use your credit card or money you can place into the envelope. We have on our website the donate button. The donate button makes it very easy for us to give. We can give through Zelle, through text to give. And for those of us who are auto givers, such as myself, we have a card that we can hold to our heart. So I'm encouraging you all, even if you're a little leery about giving, put a little something in the basket. And each week, just multiply it a little bit and see what happens in your life experience. Certainly there will be a shift. And I bet we have lots of testimonials out here that we'll be calling forth in our conscious giving time and our pledge time, which is coming up for 2024. So there are pledge cards in the back of the seats. They're this year's pledge cards, but if you already know what you plan to give for 2024, write 2024 on here and send it in the basket. That way we can plan, and there'll be more about that coming up this month. So please join me, but before we say our conscious giving statement, I want us to do a call and response. And the call and response is this, based on what I just said and what we just heard in this lovely service. Money comes to me easily, abundantly, and consistently. Can you say that? Money comes to me easily, abundantly, and consistently. There is no lack or limitation in my life now. There is no lack or limitation in my life now. So let us prepare our gifts and let us say together, I freely give what I have, and the divine source multiplies it in return. And how good is that? Woohoo, thank you. And our musicians will start our giving music, and you can come forward. We have the giving baskets available. Thank you.
Dance to the basket. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming, but we can help shape what's ahead. Kindness is our currency, the commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, give a little, all, give a lot, don't stop. Helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. in the power of love. Listen up now, people. Keep your ear to the ground. We are the river flowing, generosity abound. So give a little more, give a lot, don't stop. Helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Sweetness, only to help the world bloom, bringing love to the flower, from the flower to the fruit. We can learn a thing or two. So give a little, oh, give a lot, don't stop. Helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Don't you too? I believe in the power of love, power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Yeah.
Yay. Yay, Omega. Thank you so much. Bear with us just a few more minutes. We have our new member ceremony that we're going to enjoy right now. And just a couple words to tee this off. The pandemic taught us, it taught us a lot. That there are many more ways than we probably knew to receive spiritual inspiration and engagement. And so sometimes people are going different places. You know, they don't have to be members in the way that we used to know it. But we've maintained our membership to the degree that we have, and it felt important to me to open up, you know, I come from the traditional church like many of us do. Open up the doors of the church is what I want to say. Just like, that's why I say that in the prayer, right? And so that's what I invited, and we have a couple of new members that took our offer and are coming forward, and we want to welcome them. So Reverend Ikea Param is now our membership chair and lead, and so she's now up here on the stage, and we've kind of revamped the membership program a little bit. We had an orientation session, and we had a couple of people earlier in the year to join when I first got here, and I didn't even know that, right? We didn't have a program, so we've invited them to participate, and then we've just recently had a couple others. So I'm going to have Reverend Ikea take it from here.
We're so glad to welcome you. As I call your name, please join us on stage. But you know, we didn't have a way to welcome our new members before, but we now developed a lovely program that we can use year after year. And I'm so happy these will be the first people that we're bringing forward. Early in the year, the beginning of the year, 2 people joined when we didn't have a program. But now we're happy to welcome them with our brand new members. Lauren Eisel, unfortunately, is traveling and she can't be with us, but we welcome her in spirit. And please, when I call your name, come on up and join us. Jackie Corwin. And our newest cohort, Nancy Hester. Shannon Wise.
Thank you.
And we have a family joining together. Irene Sardanis and John Mays, married for over 30 years. The benefits of membership in the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living entitle you to vote in our annual meeting.
Thank you, Rev.
Run for elected office within our center and within the broader Centers for Spiritual Living organization. After fulfilling any requirements or prerequisites, serve as a delegate representing Oakland CSL at the annual Centers for Spiritual Living business meeting, receive discounts and perks within our community, have a dedicated spiritual community, that's us, in which to worship and grow within, among other benefits. I thank you.
Beautiful. So we thank you, new members, and I have a question that I'm going to ask of you, and the response might be I do, if you agree. As a member of Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, do you agree to support and participate in this community through giving of your time, talent, and treasure?
I do.
Great. Do you agree to embrace the principles and practices of the science of mind teaching and apply them in your own life, in our community here, and in our broader community as we all seek to live the vision of making this a world that works for everyone?
Yes, we do.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And now I turn to our community. If there are any board members in the house, I've seen a few, and may I ask you to stand if you are willing? Board members. And I ask you this question, if you are willing and able, do you receive these beloveds as new members of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. May I have the practitioners in the house to stand? And I ask you, if you're able to stand, you don't have to, do you agree to support these beloveds through prayer and spiritual support as new members of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. And now I ask the members and regulars, if you're willing to stand, you can. You too, live streamers, I forgot to say that. You're not off the hook. Do you agree to receive these beloveds in the hand of camaraderie into our community as new members of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. And so now, dear hearts, I now officially welcome you as members of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. And I have a little gift for you, and I invite all of you after we're done and Dorothy closes us out. As Rain mentioned, we have food over there, and we have flowers that I'm going to ask the new members to wear and greet them. Tell them who you are. Ask them who they are. Make them feel at home and welcome. So here we go. I'm going to let you. It's a little jingle heart. You just pick one. There you go. There's a flower in there, and you can put it on afterwards.
Is there a heart?
Yes.
Is there a heart?
It is. They're all hearts. Here, I'm going to let you pick one.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Yay. You may be seated. Oh, get your ovation. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Dorothy, it's on you, baby.
Well, I told you to fasten your seatbelts. We did it again. We did it again. Wow. This has been a fabulous, fabulous time. And new members, we're just so happy to have you in our community. And I look forward to working with you all on something, okay? I know you got something good you're going to bring to us. So, as you know, it takes a village. And I want to thank everyone who made this service possible today. And please, please, congregants, please go over, like Reverend Sunshine suggests, and let's give our new members some love. Just let them know that we are here. The practitioners of this community always have the gift of prayer to give you. In the social hall, there is a board with all our pictures on it, and you can go online for communicate to any practitioner you would like to. But after service every Sunday, we have the gift of prayer. And we say, don't take home a problem, take it to the upper room. If you want to just have a prayer for thanks, we are there for you. Never feel alone. You're never alone. All you have to do is contact us. We're there for you. So, now I'm going to ask us all to stand as we do our closing affirmation. And we'll do that together if you're able to. If you're not able, it will be on the PowerPoint, okay? Together we say,
Paradox embraces both and is not limited to either or. This is divine oneness, all of it. Infinite possibilities lie within the creative gap space in God. And so it is.
Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful week. One of the things I'd like you to do, take note of where your PPG comes in, okay? Jot it down. Jot it in your journal. Say, how many times did I have to use the PPG? That's the lesson for today, too. Okay. Take it away, love. Thank you. Short.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Have a beautiful Sunday. So good to see you all. Thank you. Give it up for Amy, y'all. Her first time here. Come on. Thank you.
Reverend Jerry.